to the second episode of BYOB. I'm Alex. Today I have the pleasure of talking with Michael from Digital Proteus, you can say, which is a digital agency. We're going to talk a little bit more about this later on. But can you tell us, before we start, what are we drinking? It's the second show only, and my guest didn't bring anything to drink, so I brought it. It's already the concept is already broken, but that's good. So we're drinking a very actually a very good whiskey that I found in the basement of this flat, which belonged to the grandmother of my girlfriend. So we found this, and it's a very old whiskey from Glen Rothes.
Maybe we can show this to the viewers. I don't know if you can see.
So I found it in the basement and I checked it. I didn't know it before, and it's actually, I think
it's written by hand on the label.
Yeah, it's actually a very good whiskey.
It's good and
quite
tastes
expensive, and it tastes amazing. So we're drinking this for today. So can you tell us a little bit more about, maybe first about your journey into becoming an entrepreneur and starting your own business? What were you doing before this?
So basically, I started as an architect, if you want, because I studied architecture. And when I worked actually in an architect's office, I had to revamp their website entirely. So I had to redesign the website, and I had to redo the entire code of it. And basically, when I finished this project, all I wanted to do was to do the same. So I wanted to build websites, and I wanted to improve a brand's image via the internet. So I switched. And I went into digital communication at a bank in Geneva, which allowed me to go into a digital school, the only one in Geneva.
So that was what, 5 years now?
It was in 2012. Okay. It was in 2012, yeah. So 3 years ago. And before that, I've always been into the website building stuff, and like I said in the bio of the website, I did websites for my teams, gaming teams.
So because you did website for fun, and then getting into the whole.
At the beginning, it was all for fun, and I just wanted to know how it worked. And afterwards, and I didn't actually at the time I wasn't in the mindset that I could make any money out of it. You know, I just wanted to have fun with it. And afterwards, I saw that it had the potential to be my work, actually.
So you started doing websites.
Yeah.
You started doing websites, and when did you move to, let's say, helping people build their brands online instead of just doing the websites, more in
good question.
How can we call that, strategy kind of way, where you actually help people sell more, do more, get noticed online, and these kind of things?
It was actually during my if you want, my mandate in this bank, where I learned how to talk about a brand, how to present a brand, and how to make it noticed, and how to preserve maybe the image of this brand. And during this time, I had the chance to get into a school, a digital marketing school. And that's where, when I had the courses of strategic planning, I fell in love with it, actually. So the how do you say, the person who presented the class was really interesting, and was passionate about the course she was giving us. And yeah, it was. I wanted to learn more about this, and I wanted to present the brand, and I like to, you know, the problem for me is that brands and advertising are selling dreams, you know, and for me it's not like it anymore. You cannot sell a dream. You can sell maybe a mindset, you can sell values, you can sell data, or you can sell maybe convictions, but it's the, you know, the myth of the perfect housewife who is washing the clothes, you know, with the kids and the dad, and everything is perfect in their lives because of thanks to a washing powder. You know, it's not like this anymore today. So I wanted to be part of this change, and that's why I switched to helping brands online, actually.
Okay, so now you actually help startups and companies with their, let's call it, their digital journey. So to getting noticed online, how to get, you know, your first customers in, how to sell more via could be Google, Facebook, whatever social media you use,
Instagram, Twitter.
So it's all this digital world that a lot of people. We're inside this world, so we think it's normal that everybody knows it, but I think what you realized is that a lot of people don't actually know anything about it, and they have no idea how to do it. So they need guidance, they need help to get into it and to understand more about what to do, because they have no idea. Actually, they have no idea where to start.
And the problem is that sometimes they think they know, you know. And I remember meeting someone who asked me, okay, so I know there are times to go or to send emails to your customers. What are those times? And I was like, I don't know your audience, you know, I don't know your customers. We have to check before. And he didn't want to believe that, because he was already convinced that he knew how.
You read somewhere that,
you know, yeah, I don't know. Maybe the little cousin of his sister told him, yeah, he's 16, so he was born with the smartphone in his hands, and he knows. You know, so he told him, yeah, you have to send emails not on Mondays, because everyone has too many emails. You have to send them on Tuesday evenings, I don't know, you know. And he was like, just confirm me that what I've heard is correct. And I was like, no, I cannot do that, because from my experience, it doesn't work like this, you know. And I want to help brands and brand managers to be aware of these little aspects and details that make the difference, actually.
Yeah, and I think, tell me if you think the same. I realized recently that a lot of people are doing, now everybody does online marketing because you have to, and also because you think you have to. Everybody does it, but no one is actually investing time in it. They all do, well, not everybody, but a lot of people do it like they do. We should just do a few Facebook posts, write a few blog posts, do this and that, and maybe we can do a contest. And then they wonder, like, why don't I have 100 or 5,000 customers knocking at my door because they want to buy my product? And I realized this recently, where people don't want to do the work because it seems very, let's say, easy to do online marketing. It's just do a Facebook post and then you're gonna sell, or just do it like this. But then when you dig into it, you realize, okay, first you analyze the datas, and then because of these datas, you choose a different strategy or a different path. and depending on the path you take, then you go on another road, and so on and so on. And it's not just doing every time the same. It depends. For everybody, it's different, and then depending on the customers, and you were saying, depending on your data and so on. And I think people don't want to do this work anymore nowadays, because it's or at least it's my feeling, that they think that anybody can do online marketing, and that it's pretty easy to do.
Yeah, and actually I think sometimes they don't realize that you can track everything, and that everything has to be tracked, and that your strategy depends on this data that you collect and that you can collect. Sometimes they they think that you just have to post something, and magically something will happen, and their sales are going to boom, And there is something that with the internet that people consider magical.
Yeah, they forget the old ways.
They don't know how it works, and they don't see all the machine behind this, and how the process work and everything. So they forget about everything, and they're like, okay, so I just make a post, a beautiful post, and everything will be okay, and my sales are going to boom, and I'm going to sell 1,000 more products. And we're like, no, consistency is really something that is key. So you have to be present, you have to post regularly, and you have to provide your audience. Audience is different in my conception than your customers, because your audience may differ from your customers, but they can be maybe they can refer to your customers, so perhaps they can influence your customers and everything. So you have to be aware of this difference in the first place. You have to be aware that you are talking to someone who maybe will not buy your product, but maybe these people will influence
others,
the final customers. This is the first step. Sometimes you don't realize this, and sometimes you don't realize that you have to provide free. Sometimes you have to provide free knowledge, or free stuff. I don't know, but you have
something that has value.
Today, it's really important that you have to add value. Okay, and your product is good. Okay, but many, 10 people or 10 brands, 10 companies provide the same product as you, and the difference can be the content that you provide, the little detail that makes the difference. And people are really convinced that they have the best product in the world. Sometimes maybe they do, maybe they don't. I don't know, but even if it's the best product in the world, sometimes you're not alone, and most of the time you're not. And what makes the difference is what you say and what you tell, and what the little extra you provide is.
Okay, so what would be, let's say now you have someone coming up to you with a small business or a startup. He doesn't know what to do with. He's selling something online, and he doesn't have a clue of where to start. Yeah. What would be your first three advices, free advices that you could give to someone that has no clue and say, okay, now I want to sell something online. I don't know where to start. I have my website, everything is set up, but no one is coming and no one is buying. What would be the first 3 things that you would do, or at least you would advise him to do, or to dig into, to start selling and have the first customer, the first 10 customers?
For me, the first essential step is to define your target. So your target audience is key.
Which is a thing that a lot of people don't do anymore. I think with the internet we lost which was something that every advertisement company, advertising agency was doing, defining the audience. But now I feel that with the internet, you want to touch everyone, and you go like, okay, my product is for everyone, and then you spread it, and then you wonder why it doesn't work.
To me, it's more like actually, it's a practice that you used in the traditional way, and that now is used in the digital world, was to spray and pray. So it was with the television, with the printed media. Before, what you did was, okay, I'm talking to someone, but I don't know how I can reach him. I'm not sure. So I'm going to spend money on advertising on the TV, in the print, the press, radio, and I hope that someone is going to buy. But there is a famous quote on this budget spending is, I know a half of my advertising budget is wasted, but I don't know which one.
Half, yeah.
And this is a practice that is still in use with the digital in the digital era, I would say. And now, what we don't realize is that you can touch the people you want, and so you can
exactly
cut.
What works.
You really can cut these budgets in half, and maybe more than a half.
They still make the same.
And and the difference is who you are talking to, and who is buying from you.
You know what's working as well, as you said before.
Yeah.
Now everything can be tracked, and a lot of people don't know that, and a lot of people, even if they know it, they don't do it properly. But you can track everything, so you know exactly. And this is what you're saying, I guess. It's exactly who you want to talk to, how to reach them, and then you spray and see what works. Okay, I know, like for me, Facebook would be the best way to make them buy my product, or Instagram, or emails, or anything that you want to do, or offline maybe. But you can track everything, and you need to track everything.
So this is the first step.
So you said target
your
know your audience, and know who you want to talk to.
Define. You have to define the audience, and then, only then, when you know who is your audience, you are going to choose the right channels, because when you know who these people are, and where they search for information, and where they share their information, and how they do it. So when you know that, you know how and where to reach them. So then you have to choose the right channels, and this is the second step. And the third step is to define a strategy. You have to, once you have the target and once you have the channels, you have to make them work. You have to take all the channels in order to make them complementary. So, for example, you have an e-commerce, so you sell products only online. What is your main goal is to redirect everything to this website. So if you are on Facebook, because your audience is on Facebook, you have to redirect them onto your e-commerce, and then only, and maybe they are on Instagram and Twitter, I don't know, every channel is going to work interact with each other, and then all the traffic is channeled into and funneled into your website, and then only you are going to have more sales, hopefully, if everything is doing well. If everything is doing is correct, yeah.
Okay. Maybe one last thing before we wrap up. You're working with startups and companies. Do you work only in remote, or people can just reach out and from everywhere in the world and talk to you? Do you work also with people, let's say, not in Switzerland or Europe, or? Because I know sometimes, when you have clients and a lot of clients still today they want to have face-to-face, which I
Yeah.
understand, and especially in this world where everything is digital, you want to talk to someone that's going to do this for you. You want to talk to them and see how they're gonna do it. So I know face-to-face is still very important.
Yeah.
So do you think that you can have clients around the world and helping them with the digital journey, or do you still think that people need the face-to-face and you're never going to be able to, apart if you travel 365 days? Because I know that's one of the issue we have, or at least that we faced, is like a lot of people, they want to work with you, but at some point they go like, oh, okay, but you're on the other side of the world. Maybe you can help us, but we won't hire you.
It depends on the culture, actually, I think. To me, I dream maybe about helping others from the other side of the planet. And I would be more than happy to do this. But it's true that maybe because of this tendency of being digitalized and virtualized, that more than ever you want to have this human contact. So I think most of the time the customers need to see you in flesh.
But I think maybe
but I'm not. But I want to. To me, my main goal is to be able to work from anywhere I want, and to be able to provide with my advice from anywhere I'm currently located, So, yeah, I think it's of importance to be present and to have a human contact. But I'm not sure it's really how would I say it's not really mandatory, if you want.
But let me tell you why I asked this, because one of my let's say one of the idea I have is, when people look for let's call it digital agency, they will look for a digital agency in their region. They will go like digital agency New York, and then they will go and talk to someone in New York and build a strategy and so on and so on. Because that's the old way, let's say the old way, and that's because you have the agency, and most of the ad agencies is the same. You want to have a face-to-face meeting, you want to sit down with someone and build something. But with a digital agency, it's supposed to be digital, it's supposed to be online. Do you think at some point we're going to reach we're going to reach a point where a digital agency, just go online, you find a digital agency, and then I'm sure it's already the case for a few, but it's not like the usual way of doing it. And I think you can see that with your clients now, is like most of them are based where you are, maybe a few hours drive, but not in another country. And could you imagine a day where you go like, okay, you receive, clients on your website, they go in, you check in, you do a Skype or whatever it is, and then you build your strategy, or you build you work with your client just via Skype or online?
To me, I understand the question, and
because look, for me, it's like maybe just one more thing is like for design. Now you have a lot of freelancers online. You just go, you hire one, and he does your work.
Yeah.
I think we're gonna reach that point with online marketing.
I was going to refer to this actually, because for me, design. For me, the main point is trust, I think. And when you have an online portfolio, you can be based anywhere you want, as long as the design you're creating is in line with the client's feelings and tastes. Okay, but the difference with a digital agency, when you are providing with strategy and when you have to understand the target, is that sometimes if you're not in the right country, and that maybe when you don't know the culture where you're dealing with, it can be really challenging for someone who is really external of it, to this culture, you know. So maybe the way I see things is, if I want to work with someone or a brand which is, I don't know, I'm a European and maybe I want to work with an African brand or Asian brand, and I'm not really familiar with the market.
Yeah.
I have maybe to the only solution I see for now. Maybe we are going to have a unique culture, but
now,
you know, I'm not sure. But in the short and mid-term, I see it like, okay, I have to be in touch with someone there who has the who can have the insights I need, because from Switzerland I cannot reach everything, you know. I can reach a lot of different markets, but sometimes when you have to reach a niche and you have to be in touch with a particular market, I don't know, maybe you are working with clothes in northern Africa. Sometimes there are cultures that practices that you're not aware of, you know. You need an insider, you know.
Someone that understands the way it works.
Yeah, and how you talk to them, and so I can reach. I think I have the same culture as US, because we are obviously. How do you say?
Pretty much the same.
We are influenced by this country a lot. So everything, I would say, the Western civilization, I would say, is pretty much the same. But as soon as you get out of it, you don't communicate on the same values. Maybe
exactly.
You don't communicate. You don't use the same strings. You know. You are not going to use the same levers to move people and to touch them and to convince them.
Okay, so it's not for.
So I think it's possible, but maybe not alone.
As well.
Not alone. You have to partner with someone or another agency. You know. Yeah, I'm convinced of it. For now.
Yeah, maybe it'll change.
Maybe it will change. I don't know.
All right, Michael, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
In case you're wondering, I don't know if you can see it, that's the dog.
Achi.
Usually she's a bit scary.
She's from China.
She's from China, yeah. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Guys, stay tuned. We'll have third episode pretty soon. Take care. Bye-bye.
See you.